Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, November 8th. We are having Cozy Friday school-wide, aka a pajama day, because we are celebrating all of our houses, since we utilize a house system here, reaching 2,000 points. And I love me a good PJ day, especially on a Friday. I've got my Friday shirt on. I've also got this big fluffy jacket, which I got from Costco. And now that I've started wearing it this week as it's gotten chillier, I don't want to take it off because it is so cozy. And can I just say, my students have been giving me extended hugs because the first time they hugged me with it on, they're like, oh, it's so soft and warm. So teacher hack, if you need some love, just get yourself a fuzzy jacket from Costco. But I've got quite a few things to catch you up on since I last vlogged on Monday, and then I'm actually gonna be recording a second vlog right after this because we're making some more changes around my classroom. So grab yourself, I don't know, a beverage of choice. I feel like it's now November. Is peppermint, is that acceptable now? I think so. Get yourself something, a snack, and let's enjoy a Cozy Friday. Speaking of November, because it is a new month, I had to set a new goal for myself. I've been setting different goals for every month of the year, and my November goal is to write down something I'm grateful for every day. And I know that's super cliche and super cheesy, and I've always told myself in the past that I would do it, but I never saw it through. So this month, we're making it happen, and as motivation, I got myself a new notebook. It's super plain, it just has a black matte cover, it's from Oxford, but what I really like is on the inside, it has a pretty basic weekly layout. So it just has the days of the week. There is space to put 3 checklist items for each day, with the exception on the weekend, there's only 2 checklist items. And then it's just blank lines. So the blank lines is where I've been writing what I'm grateful for. And then I've been using these check boxes to write out my power list for every day. My power list is just what am I hoping to get done that day, or what are my biggest priorities. So today, Friday, November 8th, I have Cozy PJ Day. We're having Chewies provided for lunch from our PTA. Yay, such a good Friday. Hence the Friday shirt. But on my power list, I already have set up the investigation for next week's science. I also need to grade the science assignment that they are completing today. And then I need to prep for study hall. So study hall is every Friday. Basically, it's a 15-minute chunk of time where students can get caught up on work. And then if they're all caught up on work, they basically have extra recess time. And going into study hall time on Fridays, I need a list of which students are either missing assignments, which I mentioned in my last vlog that I created a new list on Google Tasks for missing assignments. And I'm very, very happy to report that list is empty. Yay, I love when that happens. Now, they're completing a science assignment today, but that will not play into study hall this week because they're getting the assignment today, and one of my classes won't have even gotten the assignment before study hall time. Regardless, I also created a list for study hall, so if things come up throughout the week where I'm like, oh, I need them to do that during study hall, I add that to the list. But one of the things I need to do today is look at their iReady minutes. So we utilize iReady for personalized instruction in math, and they have a goal number of minutes we want them to reach each week. Obviously, if it's a shorter week, we shorten the time, but I look through on Fridays and see who is at their minutes versus who still owes me time, and if that's the case, that's something that they would do during study hall. So I already wrote down what I was grateful for yesterday. I like to do it at the end of the day or the next morning. That way I can kind of reflect on my day. So yesterday I wrote that I was grateful for team teachers helping me with planning, because one of my team teachers sat down and helped me plan math after school. But if you are interested in just a super basic notebook like that, I will link the one that I'm using. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. Speaking of planning, I am happy to report that I am ahead in my planning. Not only do I have all of my lessons for next week ready to go, but I have 4 out of the 5 lessons for the following week, which is the last week before fall break, ready. So I would love to get that very last one done. That way, going into fall break, everything is planned. Obviously, I need to plan that week coming back from fall break. That way, over break, I don't have to do anything. But because I'm ahead in planning, I have been able to work on some other kind of fun things, which I love doing the fun things.
You looking for fun?
But the planning's gotta come first. So now that that's done, let me show you one of my new kind of awards that I'm gonna be implementing with my students. So I'm calling this, for lack of other creativity, the brain booster. And it just says, way to go, you boosted your big, beautiful, brawny brain. I would write the student's name on this line, sign it, and date it. So very simple, printing them 2 to a page. I just created this in Canva, so I will link it as a template for you if you're interested. But I was actually inspired to create this by one of my students because there was just a moment where I'm like, I really want to applaud them for this and recognize them and their growth and how they use their brain. And I needed an award for that. So I just created these certificates, but of course I'm like, I need little things to go with it. We all love things, right? So I got these little brain stickers on Amazon in a pack. Now, I'm pulling out the ones that are either not really appropriate or don't fit the situation. For example, like this one says psych nurse. That's not going to fit the bill, but they're just so cute. So like grow your brain. And then of course there's a kiss your brain, which I say to them all the time. So I will let the student, when I give them the certificate, they will get to choose a sticker from the ones I have available. And then these are like little mini stress balls essentially, but they're shaped like little brains and they come in multiple colors. So let me grab them out and show you. So they just came in a big multi-pack, but they're all different colors. Once again, I will let the student choose, but they're just little mini stress balls. I thought that they were cute, they matched the theme. And this is something that I will just kind of keep on hand and then hand out whenever it feels appropriate, but I don't know, it was something cute, it was an idea I thought of, and because I was ahead of my planning one night, I'm like, oh, fun, I get to go ahead and make up these little certificates, get them printed out, do the Amazon ordering, all of the things. And then speaking of Amazon, 2 more of my custom stamps finally arrived. So this top one says, please sign and return to Mrs. Emerson, and then it has a line. The bottom one, it's the same Excel mark brand. I had this made with another checklist option. This one I customized to say, note from Mrs. Emerson, completed in a small group, completed with some assistance, or completed with one-on-one support. I really, really love these Excel mark stamps. They're very high quality. I wish I had gotten this in the larger size. I had already ordered both of them before the first one arrived, and I realized it was a little on the small side, but it'll get the job done. Again, I will link these if you are interested, but if you're gonna get the checklist one, I do recommend getting it in the larger size. And then my additional magnetic border also arrived. So again, these are on Amazon. They're just magnetic strips. They run like 1 inch by 1 foot. And I use them to divvy up my science word wall. Of course, you could just use tape, like especially blue painter's tape like this. I just prefer using the magnetic strips. I feel like it's easier for me to put up and then be able to take down. So here is our science word wall update. We added about electrical energy and electricity, circuits, switches, closed path, and open path. Next week, we are going into conductors and insulators, which is the investigation I need to prep for. Now, we're using a lot of the same materials that we used in the last investigation, and I purposefully did not put them away yet, so it shouldn't take that long to prep. And we have these cards that tell us which materials we need, so all I really need to do is go into our kits, which I just keep stored up here on top of my cabinets. They're labeled with the different units. So I just need to get on a chair, get up, grab the things, and then get them sorted into those bins. Now for where I store that on the inside of my cabinet, I just have a command hook holding this dry erase pocket. Inside is that poem that I shared at the beginning of the year called Life Would Be Easier. And then I have the little cheat sheet thing just kind of hanging there. That way I can easily grab it, but it's out of the way. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog that I'm gonna be making some changes to my classroom. All of a sudden it hit me the other day that it was November And I never decorated for fall. Not necessarily in my classroom. I don't typically do a lot for decorating for the various seasons of the year. But at home, I usually put out, the mini pumpkins.
Any blow to the pumpkin itself could prove fatal to me.
The mini pumpkins never made it out of the garage this year. It just snuck up on me, and before I knew it, October is over. And I know that November could still qualify as mini pumpkin season, but I feel like at this point, I might as well just wait until after Thanksgiving and then decorate for the winter. But it's just crazy how that used to be something that every year, I'd put out all my decor, I looked forward to it, and it just didn't happen this year, which shows that I'm just kind of taking it day by day. We're getting there. As soon as I start to feel better, I remember all of the things that I need to get done. And next week we have our science peak, which is when families come in and we'll experience a science lesson. And so I need to prep for that. Although most of the things are done, I did end up borrowing because our wellness teacher has all of these costumes, and I borrowed a banana costume that I can wear because our science peak is going to be fruit themed, but I will share about that in its own vlog. I'm actually gonna be starting another vlog as soon as I end this one with those classroom changes. I'm gonna move things around. I'm staring at it right now, the front of my classroom, where my IFP, which is my interactive flat panel, that's like the big screen that I used to teach. It's touch screen, it has its own computer built into it. I'm gonna be moving that because I want access to the whiteboard that it is currently covering. So check out my next vlog. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, but also hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss that one when it goes up. I'm gonna document the process of moving things around. I have a plan in my head and I'm hoping I can execute it and it works out the way that I want. There could be a very high possibility that I just put it back the way that it is because it doesn't work out. But stay tuned for that. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, or PJ pants, if it's PJ day. And I will catch you in the next one. I can't reach, so stay tuned. I should know by now that my arms are way too short to reach across this big kidney table. Teacher problems.